I don't think I'll ever understand people. Because when the lights went down and this movie began, there was a Marvel Studios level pop in the theater. It was loud in there. People were so excited. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Yeah, so I watched Minions: The Rise of Gru. Yeah, I took one for the team. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Look, I went into this movie with just the slightest ounce of optimism, because this studio Illumination Entertainment has proven that they can make good films in the past. I like both Sing movies, and I like all three of the original Despicable Me movies. Obviously, I own the Blu-rays. And you guys want to know why I like these movies? Because the focus is on where it should be. Gru. That's the main character. And it seems like the focus of this Minions sequel is going to be on Gru. It's set in the 1970s, and young 11-year-old Gru tries to join a group of supervillains called the Vicious Six. And they're basically holding auditions Deadpool 2 style after they oust their leader, the legendary fighter Wild Knuckles, voiced by the one and only Alan Arkin. And when the interview turns disastrous, Gru and his minions go on the run with the Vicious Six hot on their tails. But luckily, he finds an unlikely source for guidance, Wild Knuckles himself. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is a total fest of an animated movie, because there are some good things about it. First of all, it is very colorful. I will give it that. I feel like small children are really going to enjoy seeing the vibrancy of all the colors on the big screen. Story-wise, obviously, with the minions being the central characters here, it's very hit or miss. But the best scenes of this movie actually did involve young Gru, who is once again voiced by Steve Carell. And yeah, I do think it's actually really funny that he's voicing an 11-year-old kid this time around. And you know what? He does the voice well. He does a very good job playing this character. But the best scenes were seeing Gru's origins, why he wanted to become a supervillain in the first place. It's all because of his idol, Wild Knuckles, who's voiced by Alan Arkin, who is way too talented for this material. But you know what? He is making the most of it. Him and Steve Carell, I think, do really well together. Their scenes are really great. And I thought the first act, for the most part, when it was focused on Gru, it's really, really solid, actually. There's some really nice scenes in here. But yeah, it really does take a turn for the worse once the minions start to become the focus, huh? And I hate to be that negative Nancy, but God, I fucking hate these things. And you want to know why I hate these things? It isn't just because they're annoying, going like, like they're talking Sims language. That's all they do. Like, why do people love these guys? I don't get it. But it feels to me like the minions are the real antagonists of this film, because once they become the central focus, they just hold you hostage. And the humor in this movie is basement level. I don't even remember cracking a smile one time. Actually, I take that back. There is a moment that I really, really enjoyed with Wild Knuckles and Gru involving a swimming pool filled with crocodiles. That's a really inventive scene. And there certainly is a lot of potential in here to be a great animated feature. Like, I wanted more development out of the Vicious Six. I think these are all really interesting characters. I think if you just place that central focus on Gru's origin story and him idolizing the Vicious Six, you very much could have had a film similar in vein to The Incredibles. But no, it's just minions. And their attempts at comedy in this either involves a fart joke or them mooning the audience. And it really felt like everyone else in this auditorium, except for me, they were eating it up. Like, this is pretty much Illumination Entertainment's equivalent to Mickey Mouse. The Minion is their Mickey Mouse. I feel terrible for them. Look, I will definitely say, despite everything I've said so far, this movie is better than the first Minions movie. It really is. That's a very, very low bar that's been set, because the reason why I don't like that first Minions movie at all, and part of the reason why I'm so dumbfounded that it made at least $1 billion at the box office in 2015. Like, why do you people like this stuff? It's basically just an hour and a half of slapstick Minion stuff. You could have just had a couple of cartoons with the Minions thrown onto the Boomerang Network or the Cartoon Network, whatever you guys are watching, and you probably could have been satisfied within 15 minutes. But that was an hour and a half. Basically, what I'm saying is, once the Rise of Gru goes into the first Minions movie territory where it focuses on them and their kung fu training, yes, they're learning kung fu from Michelle Yeoh. How are all these talented people in this movie? Michelle Yeoh, Taraji P. Henson, Alan Arkin, Mary Poppins herself, Julie Andrews? They're far too good for this material. And like, oh my god, guys. I mean, this is honestly, it's one of the most annoying films you will sit through all year. Not just because of the Minions' antics, but There's just so much potential in there to be a really nice prequel origin story with some good messages. I'm not saying this movie doesn't have good messages at all. Find your tribe and what have you and stick with them. But a lot of the execution just really left me rolling my eyes. And listen, I don't want to judge people too hard. I'm just gonna let you enjoy what you enjoy and I'll just shut up and be myself. But if you have money, you keep it. You put it in your wallet and you don't give it to the studio and reward them for being annoying. So, I'm gonna spoil some real quick because I feel like it needs to happen. Like, there's so many other better movies to watch right now than this. Go see Lightyear again. Go see The Black Phone. Those are movies that deserve your support. But basically, the third act of this movie turns into the minions going to rescue Gru. Yeah, and they're fighting these big fire-breathing dragons, and it should be a no contest. And I realize this is a movie for kids, but I'm sitting there like, I want the minions to go down, and I really should not be feeling that. When they're fighting these big fire-breathing dragons who basically inhale the dust from this stone necklace that they stole at the beginning, like, how do these dragons lose? How do they lose to these guys? I mean, listen, guys, like I said, I don't want to judge you too hard, but if you're one of the people who was actually loving the Minions, I mean, they thought that they were their favorite part of the Despicable Me films, and you're actually paying money to go and see this, I mean, yeah, it should be made for children, right? Actually, no, the theater I was in was filled with mainly teenagers who were guffawing at all this. I really don't get it, man. This is one of the biggest mysteries in Hollywood to me as to why the Minions are so popular. I'm gonna give The Rise of Gru a D+. Yeah, it's a colorful movie. You got some good scenes with Gru and Wild Knuckles in there. Damn it, too much exposure of the Minions just ruined it for me. And looking at the title of this film, I really should have known better. But let me know what you guys thought of The Rise of Gru down in the comment section below. What is your favorite Despicable Me movie? For me, that would be Despicable Me 2. Again, because Gru is the main character. There's not all that central focus on the stupid yellow guys. But yeah, feel free to smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell right next to it if you want to continue to stay up to date with me. I always love discussing new things, movies, and entertainment on the regular. And what the heck, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up on your way out. This is all tremendously helpful, guys. And please make sure to stay tuned for more exciting content hitting this channel very, very soon. I will be seeing Thor Love and Thunder on opening night. I cannot wait. Should be a fun time, my friends. So stay tuned for all this and much, much more. Y'all are the best. And with all that being said, back talk, commence!